Hi, it's New Year's Eve, and rather than being at a party with COVID 19, I'm at home, and uh, you know, today was option expiry in India on December 31st. So I had a pretty good December. So I had promised some people that I would make this video to analyze what I did in December with a view to learn on whether these covered option strategies could be very good for retired people like me. So I'm going to share a screen with you which shows what I did, and then we can see what are the kind of learnings that I'm extracting from it. I'm still in the process of trying to learn and evolve a model. So far, the results are looking very good. But if you do see this video, please make your own decisions. And this is not in any way or form a recommendation. And if you spot some things which are not right, I would very much like to hear from you so that I can improve what I'm doing. Okay, so with that said, let me share the screen. Okay, so if you see, this is the screen which shows what I did in December. So I sold options where the notional was about 4 crores or 3.9 crores. My overall portfolio was about 5.7 crores. So this was about 70% of my portfolio. And the margin which was required for this was 0.68 crores throughout the month. But then on the last 2 days, the margin goes up sharply. So it becomes like 1.68 crores. So you have to be careful in terms of how much margin you keep and what are the sort of things that keep you safe. So I tend to not do more than this. In fact, I tend to do less normally than this 4 crores. There was one opportunistic trade that I did, which pushed this up, but normally it would be around 3.5. So now the premium that I earned in December was 8.3 lakhs. Again, this is a little bit on the higher side, as I'll show you. The yield works out to 2.12%. Now, this 2.12%, if you annualize it, it's like 25.44%. Okay. Now, this is over and above whatever my portfolio does. So if I have some good stocks and the stocks go up, then that will get added. If the stocks go down, then that will be subtracted. But this kind of yield would happen in a rising market or a falling market. So this is additional yield. Now, 25.44 is a very large number. This is not what I intend to shoot for. And this 25.44 is on the 4 crores, not on the 5.7 crores. So if I take the 5.7 crores, what I want to shoot for is about 12% of supplemental yield, which would mean 17% of yield on the notional on the options, which would be about 1.5% yield, not 2.12%. So keep this in mind as we go along. Now, currently, while I want to move to a portfolio where most of the options that I sell are going to be covered calls, currently I have a fair amount of cash in my portfolio. So I'm trying to sell both covered calls and cash covered puts. So in this particular month, I had about 1.78 crores of call notional and 2.15 crores of put notional, which was covered by cash. And the premium that I got on the calls was 3.1 lakhs with a yield of 1.76, which is closer to the 1.45. And the yield that I got on the puts was 2.42 and the premium was 5.20. Okay. So now what does this mean in terms of like an annual budget? So if I take an annual budget of earnings from options with a, say, portfolio of 5.7 crores, then if I take 12% on it, it comes to about 68 lakhs or 5.7 lakhs a month. But I want to target an even lower number. So about 50 lakhs, which would be about 0.73% of the 68.4. So roughly speaking, I'm trying to say that, okay, if I sort of start this 2021 with an objective of trying to make 50 lakhs of supplemental income, primarily from selling covered calls, but while I build my portfolio, there may be some puts in it as well. Is that a kind of reasonable budget for me to go for? Now, the actuals may differ from the budget, but that is essentially what I think I would be able to do, which is why I'm spending time on this and why this may be important for someone who is looking to do something like this for themselves. Is I think that the absolute amounts matter and not just the percentages. So if you are retired and you have a portfolio, say, of 5 crores, then you could make a fairly substantial amount of money, which could cover your living expenses and could cover your taxes, because even on this 50 lakhs, I'm going to end up paying a substantial amount of tax. So this then removes the dilemma that quite a few retired people have of where do you generate income from. Okay. So your portfolio can also generate more income and all that. So it makes life a lot easier if you can use these options and use them well to generate extra income. So even if you have a much smaller portfolio, say 1 crore, even then, like if you could generate 12%, then that would be 12 lakhs or 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs extra every year is not bad. Okay, so with that said, let me go in further to what I did. So I only had basically nine underlying or 9 contracts that I entered into during the month. And once I entered into them, I did not close them out. It so happened that all the contracts expired out of the money. So I didn't need to close them out. Had some expired in the money, I would have closed them out and taken that loss on closing it out or whatever I spent buying to close. Because when I open these contracts, since I'm selling options, I get the premium. And when I close them, I have to buy them back. So then I pay. So in this month, I didn't have to close anything. Okay. So there were 9 contracts only, and they were on 8 underlyings. So wherever you see a C here, this is a call. That means I own the stock. And wherever you see a P, that means I do not own the stock, but I want to own the stock at a particular price. Okay. So, and you'll see that in the case of Reliance, I sold both a put and a call. Okay. So with that said, let's start with Bharti Airtel. So in 1 month, the change in Bharti Airtel in the month of December was 11.69% positive. So it went up 11.69%. Now I actually sold the option on 27th November. So that's what this execution date is. The price on that day when I sold the option, it had closed at 463.25. Okay. Now I sold the 520 call, right? So at 520 was 12.25% higher than the 463.25. So what I was saying was that if the Bharti Airtel closes at a price below 520 on December 31st, then the option will expire out of the money and I will pocket the premium fully. Okay. So now, as it happened, Bharti Airtel went up 11.69%. So it closed pretty close to the 520, but it didn't close higher than 520. So I was able to pocket the whole premium. Now, how much yield did I get for this? Because the strike was pretty far out at that point in time, well over 10%. So I'll normally look for around 10% on these calls, right? So because so it was lower, I got 1.39%. I did 4 contracts for Bharti Airtel, and each contract is for 1851 shares. So total was 7,404 shares, and I got 7 rupees 25 paisa per share. So I got 53,679 as premium, which all became profit because I didn't have to pay anything to close it. Now the trading costs and all that are very low, so they're fairly insignificant. So I'm not going to bother too much about them because each this whole set of contracts costs 20 rupees to trade, so it's hardly much. It's I think 20 rupees per contract. I'm not sure, but it's fairly low, the fees, because I use Zerodha to do these contracts. So I don't bother about small little things. So, it's not worth spending time on that. So the notional for this call was basically the strike 520 multiplied by the number of shares, which is 7404. So basically, I had 38.5 lakhs as the notional, and that was the premium. So when I calculate the yield, it is the premium divided by the notional, which gives me the yield. Okay. So clearly, in the strategy that I was trying to follow is that I think Bharti Airtel is a stock I want to own for a very long time, because I think it has a good future, where I am, of course, may be wrong, but I want to hold it. So I am selling this call with the idea that I want to expire out of the money and I want to pocket the premium. But if for some reason the stock shoots up, then because I own 8,000 shares of Bharti Airtel, my shares will go up and I will only lose the upside over 520. Okay. So that is why it's called a covered call. Now, of course, I could deliver these shares of Airtel at 520, if suppose it went to 540, or I could choose to pay the 20 rupees and if it went to 540 and still retain my shares. So I think you get the picture as to why this is not like gambling or naked options, but I own the shares and I'm selling a covered call to generate income. So in some ways, this is like an extra dividend on my holding. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is Britannia. Now, on Britannia, the stock actually fell by 2.05%. Now, Britannia is a stock which I had bought. I thought it had potential, but I'm a little concerned that maybe I was wrong. So I want to exit that stock. Okay. So what I had done was I sold the option not on November 27th, but in this case, it was 1st December. And when I sell these options, I put them using something called GTT, good till triggered, on Zerodha. And then whenever it gets triggered, it gets triggered. So I do my analysis and I say, I'm ready to sell this option at this price. So this got triggered on 1st December. So the price on 1st December, when it got triggered, Britannia closed at 3629.35. Now I had sold this at 3,700. Okay, so this was only 1.95% over the closing price. Okay, So I got a much better yield. I got a yield of 2.7% here, right? But why did I do this? Because I did this because I actually wanted to sell the stock, okay? And and the price I got was 100 rupees per share. So in effect, I was hoping that Britannia closes above 3,700, maybe 3,800, maybe whatever, but above 3,800, and I would be able to effectively sell the stock at 3,700, which was higher than the 3,629 it was on 1st December. So that was what I wanted to do. But what happened was that actually Britannia fell and ended at even lower than 3,600. So I pocketed the 100 and I still have the Britannia shares. So now in January, I will sell another covered call. Okay. And at some point in time, Britannia may go up unless it keeps falling, and I will be able to sell the stock because it's not something that I want to hold for a very long time. Okay, so in this case, the notional was 37 lakhs and so on and so forth. Okay, then let's move on to a case where I wanted to buy a stock. So this was Dr. Reddy's. So I was ready to buy it at 4,700. So I sold the option on 27th November. The price then was 48.28. So the strike was fairly close at 2.67% from the price at which it was trading. So I was ready to buy it at a price which was 2.67% lower than the current price. However, if you look at Dr. Reddy, it went up 7.25%. Okay. And the yield that I got again was quite high, it was 2.97%. Or 139.54. So I picked up 1,39,540 on Dr. Reddy's. So now here's another thing that you have to see is that this sounds very nice. Okay, I picked up all this premium, but had I actually managed to buy at this 28.95, okay, then I would have actually made 7% because it went up 7%, right? I ended up only making 2.97%, right? So it may not be all that great just to try and collect premiums all the time. I do want to end up buying the stock. But at the same time, if the stock is reasonably volatile, maybe Dr. Reddy's will fall at some point to this price of 4,700 or maybe 4,800 or something. So I may be able to buy it at a decent price when the markets fall. So that is another thing to keep in mind when you're planning this put strategy. So similarly in Muthoot, I sold a 1,300 call when the closing price was 1179.10. This was 10.25. I got a yield of 1.48. Pidilite, I wanted to buy the stock at 1,600 when the price was 1,638. Again, it was quite close. But here my yield was less than Dr. Reddy's because Pidilite is not such a volatile stock, while Dr. Reddy's is a more volatile stock and has more demand for the premium. So sometimes your yield can depend on how volatile a stock is and how much option traders want to play it. Now, in the case of Reliance, which is quite interesting, is that I feel that, because of Reliance has attracted so much money, while it has a bad business, the oil business, but it also has two areas which could grow quite a lot. And it has a very good balance sheet. So I'm kind of bullish on Reliance, where some people may not be. On 27th November, when I sold this option, the price was 1929.80 or the closing price. And I sold a 1900 put, which was only 1.54% away from the 1929.80. Okay, because I wanted to buy, and I wanted to buy 3 lots of 15 shares because I already owned 5 lots, which was 25 shares. So I wanted to make it like around 4,000 shares of Reliance. And I got 3.46% because one, I was very close to the strike, and secondly, it was a fairly well traded and volatile share. So I got a good premium on it. So if you see here, that I got 65.8 for this. But I also sold a call because on the 25 shares that I owned, I sold a call at 2100. Okay, now here also the call was about 8.82% or close to 10% above what the price was. And Reliance went up about 2.59%. So both of these I got, and I picked up about 100 rupees premium on per share. And of course, I picked up this on 15 shares for the put and 25 shares for the call. Okay. And then on SRF, I wanted to buy it. Here I was buying it at like 6% lower. The yield that I got was 1.82, and the closing price was 5098, and so on and so forth. So I picked up stuff there. Now this last one, UPL, was a bit of a opportunistic trade. Because what happened was UPL was a share that I owned. I sold it when there was some concern on this management thing on Mauritius and all that kind of stuff. But I've been following the company, and the company seems to be good, except there are some concerns about the integrity of the management and so on and so forth. So UPL fell a lot on a particular day. And it was all to do with some kind of whistleblower complaint, which alleged that the CEO had rented some house and all that. So I felt that this was kind of a little bit overblown, and but it fell a very large amount. So I said, okay, let me try and see if I can sell a put, and I'm ready to buy it at 420. And so I put in an order, and it executed. And I was the price. This was on 21st December, which was just 10 days before the closing, before the option expires. Because an option has an intrinsic value and it has a time value. So it's only got 10 days to expiry. But because there was this concern that UPL may fall further, some people wanted to buy protection, other people were sort of gambling on this, that it's going to fall further. So I managed to get this premium yield of 2.63%. And in a very short time span, I managed to pick up 1,14,920 in premiums. So that was a little bit of an opportunistic kind of trade that I ended up doing. So this sort of explains to you what I did. And so now the other questions that some people have asked me is that how do I determine what is the strike at which I want to sell and when I want to sell? So I think I've answered that, but I'll just repeat it once again. That I use a site called Sensibull, and there's a free thing there where you can analyze an option chain. It shows you how much open interest there is on a strike, what is the probability that this will end up being in the money, and it's got something called maximum pain, where it thinks this option is going to close. Right? It's not always right, and this thing keeps changing, but it can give you an idea. And then if you say that, okay, I will take this particular strike, then you can go and place a good till traded order and go till triggered order and put the limit price at which the option is going to trigger at maybe 10% higher than the current price. Because option prices are very volatile. So 10% may seem like a lot, but it's not. And chances are that it might get triggered. And sometimes you have to be patient. And sometimes you have to adjust. Sometimes you might want to put it higher than that. You might want to change the thing. But I'm just giving you certain rules that you can use. Then finally, I'd like to end with the saying on how do you decide whether to close an option or not. So when you can look at your positions and how much profit or loss you're making on a daily basis. So a few days before expiry, I looked at my Airtel position and I was making a loss of about 11,000 rupees. So how was that? That this thing which I had sold at 7 rupees 25 paisa was trading at around 9 rupees if I wanted to close it, right? So I'd have to pay more. So I would lose, say, 11,000 rupees. And Airtel was very close to 520. That sometimes it went higher than 520. So it was touch and go as to whether it's going to close above 520 or not. So I went to Sensible and I saw what is the kind of open interest there. I looked at how many people were closing positions on the 520 strike. So was this open interest decreasing? Quite a few people were, but still quite a few people were not. And then I looked at the maximum pain on Sensible, and it suggested that the option would close at 510. And I looked at the probability that this option would close out of the money. And that was around 56% or so. So I decided to do nothing. Now that turned out to be the right decision. And ultimately, instead of losing, say, 11,000, I made 53,000. So this is something that you have to probably look at fairly close to the expiry. In terms of the amount of time that I have to spend on this is basically one is to some amount of time at the beginning of a cycle to decide what GTT orders to place at what strikes and things like that. And then towards the end of the cycle, in the middle, one can just look at what's going on, but one doesn't have to do much. And you don't have to look at it every day, and you don't have to come in and out and in and out and all those kind of things. So it's a fairly simple, low touch strategy. So I'm also trying to convince people that if they could offer this as a product where people could manage this for me professionally, and I could trust them, and the fees were reasonable. Let's say I had to pay, say, maybe 1,25,000 rupees a year for the service, and for me it was like single touch. I could just tell people, and they'd manage it for me. And maybe do a better job than me. So if I was making 50 lakhs and I had to pay 1,25,000, but I had not to spend all this time thinking about this, doing all this analysis and all that, it may be well worth it for me, because there are better things to do in life than manage money. And if you can get good, trusted professionals to do it for you, then it's great. But the problem is to find those good, trusted professionals and for them to have a great product. So with that, I'll stop, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you think it might be helpful for some of your other friends, do let them know that this video exists. And if you want to get back to me, you can reach me at Sanjay@Bharosa, BHAROSA CLUB.com. Thank you very much for listening to me.